And as if things couldn't get any worse, Joe Biden's Afghanistan disaster seems to be bleeding over stateside. Arizona's Attorney General warning that terrorists released by the Taliban could be sneaking into our country amid the chaos at the border. This threat comes as the Biden administration was dealt a huge blow to their immigration plans. The Supreme Court reinstating former President Trump's Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers. The policy that requires applicants to wait in Mexico while their claims are evaluated by American authorities. All right, so Dana, say a Taliban evacuee gets to Mexico. Do you think that Taliban person's going to remain in Mexico?
Do you think the coyote's going to be like, oh, maybe we should hold this one back?
Yeah, what's the fee to smuggle a Taliban across the southern border?
Well,
probably more than a Guatemalan.
They'll probably be raising their prices, I would imagine.
Exactly.
I know in the UK that somebody that was on the UK's no-fly list because of terrorism reasons ended up in the UK.
Correct.
So they're checking and they're trying to make sure. I think on the Remain on Mexico thing, to me, if I were the Biden administration, I would take this as a win, right? So you can say to your public and the progressives, like, these Trump judges are really, they're terrible.
And that's why we need more Supreme Court justices.
And tell Breyer to resign, but accept the good outcome.
Yeah, my hands are tied by the law. I'm just following the law. We respect institutions. Yep. So the Afghan disaster, obviously, he can't execute anything. It reminds Americans, Dagan, he can't execute the border. He can't do anything right.
Right. When we were watching that video of that child being handed over to the Marine in Afghanistan, and people were very upset. I'm like, we've seen the same photographs down at the border of toddlers being dropped over walls by human traffickers. So, again, it's just it's the same disregard for human life. And I say it over and over again, that they laid the foundation for people to profit from human suffering and misery, and they're okay with it. This is how it does go to Trump's legacy, though. The number of judges that he appointed. I looked it up earlier. 226 federal judges Trump appointed, 54 appeals court judges. That was just one less than Obama did in 8 years. Really, I mean, this will pay dividends for years to come.
Thank you, Cocaine Mitch. And I say that with love. Jessica, there is a little bit of a difference between the Afghan asylum seekers and these people crossing the southern border. I mean, the people crossing the southern border have yet to do anything positive for the United States, haven't done anything at all. Asylum seekers coming from Afghanistan, they have sometimes literally saved American lives, being translators, spotters, drivers. But Joe Biden doesn't really do much for them. Hey, if you can make it to the airport, good luck.
So I don't see things the same way.
There's nothing you can say to refute that.
I went Greg style. I have a lot of notes on this specifically.
All right. We're a little tight on time.
That shocks me. The red light just starts flashing. I actually did hear 2 minutes. Okay. So there are a lot of people seeking asylum at the southern border who have worked in their home countries and I'm sure with Americans to improve their quality of life back there for millions of people who are destitute, who are raped, pillaged, all the things that are going to be happening in Afghanistan under the Taliban, people coming from Central America. And it is their legal right to seek asylum here, and they should go through the process. But of course, the interpreters should come, people who fought alongside us, but you shouldn't talk about them like that just because they're coming from a different place. And hopefully that will get figured. I'm literally hearing you hurry up. Anyway, the point is, on the Supreme Court ruling, it's actually very unclear. They didn't say what the violation actually was. And the policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, hasn't been in place since March 2020 anyway. So it seems like Secretary Mayorkas can just go back to them with a more thorough explanation of why they don't want the Remain in Mexico policy. They had taken it down because of COVID. And to the point about the Taliban people getting here, under Trump, March 2020, the Peace Pact, the Afghans had to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners in exchange for only 1,000 Afghan prisoners. So if there's a Taliban terrorist coming over here to hurt us, could have been very well released under President Trump, and no one talks about that. Or you don't talk about that.
You talk about it. Do you talk about it?
All the time.
You won't stop talking about it.
I won't stop talking about anything, actually, you know. You can't have a border without order. And that's all I'm saying. No, actually, what I'm going to say is, with rear view mirrors, they always say objects appear closer than they really are. This is another example of the Trump rear view mirror, in that everything in that mirror seems better now when compared to Joe being president. Trump's policy of remain in Mexico seems like a really innocuous solution to a problem, right? You work with Mexico over a porous border. We cooperate. But out of spite and no logic, Joe killed that, because he killed a lot of things that were related to Trump just because it was Trump. And he just dismantled so many important things as an irrational response. And I want not just him, but the Democrats and the Democrat mayors, everything that is connected to order, whether it's law enforcement or it's, foreign policy, how to evacuate people, the border, it just crumbles.
It crumbles.
They have no sense of order.
Take the win.
Take the W, says Dana Perino. Coming up, are you kidding me? Liberal leaders are bringing back the push for outdoor mask mandates.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.